Councillor Parr.
Oh, call me George, please, George. And you?
I own a collie.
Really? Oh, I'm a Rottweiler fancier myself.
No.
And you're here for an interview in connection with your degree course in...
It's my MA in Empowerment and Citizen Ownership Studies in Human Investment Theory. My dissertation subject is the proposed development of the old pool site. Can you take me through how the council got to where it is today?
Ah, well, the site has a long history, but until 1980, there was an open-air swimming pool on the site, and the council decided it was operating at a loss, and so it was closed down and the site fenced off. The fence was there so the public were kept off until the council could decide what they wanted, and to ensure that the site became derelict. So that it would never be used as a swimming pool again. In the intervening years, we proposed, promoted, and passed 3 excellent, extravagant plans for redevelopment, only for our best endeavours to be wrecked by higher authorities. In 2004, the previous administration...
The Conservatives.
The previous administration squandered 1.3 million by demolishing the changing room building and built a children's playground, cafe, and the so-called Jubilee Gardens on the site.
Haven't they proved very popular?
Yes, but to their credit, though, the previous administration...
The Conservatives.
The previous administration came up with the Twickenham Challenge. It called for a community project on the Twickenham Riverside, and in 2006, the present administration decided the Environmental Trust's idea of a river centre should win it.
Now, was that the competition where the projects had to be self-funding, but the winner would get the choicest part of the land on the old swimming pool site for a peppercorn rent?
Yes, that's the one. There was just one thing. The Environment Trust was delighted to get the land and were happy with the peppercorn rent, but we convinced them that the council should throw in a building as well.
So when they bid for the project, they didn't realise that they needed land and a building. Didn't you say the Twickenham Challenge stipulated that the projects had to be self-funding?
It's a technicality. You know, it's how these things get done. You call it an innocent misapprehension. I mean, remember the Olympic bid? I mean, they didn't realise they'd have to pay VAT, and that they would need 3 times the original budget. And then there was the Dome and the British Library.
Indeed, I suppose compared with the Dome, the Olympics and that sort of thing, an overrun of £3 or £4 million is peanuts.
Yes, we didn't feel there was any need to explain or be embarrassed. These things happen all the time. The Teddington School was just overrun by several million. So we said to the Environment Trust, we'll also fund the design of a river centre that'll be the biggest and the best of its kind.
Oh, are there others?
No, it's a world first.
And they get the land and a building?
Yes.
Still for a peppercorn?
Well, no, a peppercorn was a conservative idea. Peppercorns are not sustainable.
So?
The rent is an apple pip. Sustainability is our watchword. Every document produced by the council is now processed so that wherever possible, the word sustainable is added in automatically.
But perhaps you could tell me, how did you swing it so that the building got thrown in as well?
We conned the public.
What?
Well, con is council speak for consult. Lawyers use the time all the time when meeting barristers.
Well, how did you know that this conning the public would get you what you wanted?
We've got con experts on our staff. The skill is to make sure that you ask the right questions. For example, supposing the first question is, do you prefer tea or coffee? And the answer is tea. The next question then is, do you prefer Italian or Brazilian coffee? The next question is espresso or cappuccino, and then tall or grande, and so on. If you do it the right way, it can say that, with a 1% margin or whatever, that the people of Twickenham are clamouring for coffee or a river centre.
But what about the extra cost of the building?
Look, if the public wants a river centre, they should have guessed that they couldn't have one without the land and a building. And it's our duty to give them one.
So is the council going to fund it?
That'd be absurd. We don't spend taxpayers' money on what the public wants. We've got better things to spend the council taxpayers' money on. There's no money in the kitty for this project.
Not even after 28 years?
No money.
When nothing has been spent on the riverside?
Not true. 4 years ago, 1.3 million of your money was wasted by the previous administration on the playground, the Jubilee Gardens and the cafe.
Why do you say wasted?
Because we're going to see that it's all bulldozed.
So the council won't spend any more money?
We've got no more money.
Surely.
Look, let me explain it. Take the F out of the word funding. What have you got?
Funding?
Take the R out of the word revenue. What have you got?
Avenue?
Right. Now take the F out of money.
Well, there is no F in money.
Yes. You see, when it comes to explaining the complexities of public finances to the public, they understand it if you use language that they understand.
So what was the answer?
Enabling development.
Enabling development. And what is that?
Well, it's one of those two-word tags that doesn't sound like exactly what it is.
What, like ethnic cleansing or friendly fire?
Yes, but it's more like collateral damage.
And how does that work?
Well, we get a developer to do up the site, including the river centre, and build a lot of housing, which he flogs off at a profit. It's called enabling development because the development enables the council to get away with preventing the whole site becoming open space.
Remind me, haven't you tried the same sort of scheme, a developer building housing 3 times before and failed each time? Isn't that a problem?
Not at all. To do anything different would be to admit that we were wrong before, and no council will ever do that.
So what sort of housing do you envisage? Affordable?
No. Affordable housing is only for people who can afford affordable housing. The houses on that site must be for people who can afford much more than affordable housing. People who can only afford affordable housing must find those houses very, very unaffordable. That site is in the heart of Twickenham.
But won't luxury housing be out of keeping with the rest of the centre of Twickenham?
We certainly hope so, yes.
And the council's stated target for affordables?
And we bung them somewhere else.
Well, the people of Twickenham are being very generous to the Environment Trust, giving them a river centre.
Not really. They have to fit out the building, you know, tables and chairs themselves.
You couldn't slip that in too?
No, definitely not. We need to give you a river centre, and we have to bulldoze and relocate the Conservatives' children's playground and Jubilee Gardens, rearrange the roads and parking, and tart up the bits of the site that aren't part of the original pool site.
Like what?
Like the bottom of Water Lane and Wharf Lane, the Embankment Road, and that waterfront that's been tatty for ages. And the challenge is to get away with the amount of housing that will be built to pay for that and still give the developer a profit. And with house prices falling, it's going to be tricky.
So why do you think you will succeed this time?
A Trojan horse.
Not a real one.
Well, yes, its name is the River Centre. It's a concept so noble, no one can say a word against it. It's like motherhood. Look at the list of names of supporters on the Environmental Trust's website.
Oh, well, I have done that, and I was most surprised to find my own name on it. I don't remember being asked.
Good for you. Glad for your support.